Okay, so instead of doing like an in-person intro like the other two videos, I decided to actually just go right into the reading since, to save time. And while I'm talking, you can actually decide which pile you want to choose. So today, instead of 4 piles, I decided to do, well, not that I decided, it was more like I feel like 3 was the right number. So it's 3 piles. It's pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Pick the pile that you're most geared towards. But if you feel like, another pile might also work, you could also choose that too, because maybe there are messages in both piles. This is a little bit different than the other 2 videos, because the other 2 videos I said to pick, might be better to pick just 1 pile, and this one just whichever pile or piles you feel geared towards. And this since we are almost towards the end of March and almost towards April, so this pick a card reading is what is my current energy and advice for me going into the month of April. So that was what I asked the cards when I was doing the shuffling. And so let's get into it. Before I actually go into the reading, in case you're wondering what the decks that I used in this pickup card reading video, I used the Secrets of Tarot, as I always do, and I used the Fairy Tarot cards, and I used the Moonology Oracle cards. So the Fairy Tarot and the Moonology cards are new decks that I just purchased. So I feel like, kind of want to put it to use and see what happens. And also I have an Instagram account. It's avivTarot. So you may follow me on that, where I do daily draws. Those are timeless, so whichever you feel like clicking onto it or something like that, that means that could be the current energy that you are at right now and the message for you at that moment. And let's see, I think that's it. Facebook, you could follow me on that. And these are just general reading for everybody. If you would like to have a personal reading, just let me know. You can email me. Right now I don't really have a specific pricing for it. It's more just donation based. So yeah. And if you have any things that you want to share with me, you may just email me or comment in the section below. So now let's get to it. And I will put the timestamps in the description box below, and so you may skip right to your pile. All right, let's get started. Okay, so pile number 1. You got 5 of Cups. Here, I'll show it to you first. In reverse, the High Priestess in reverse, and the King of Winter, sorry, upright. And then the Moonology card, it's a new start is coming. Okay, so let's begin. Whoops, totally moved this. Okay. So let's see. 5 of Cups in reverse. On the card it says money losses, all is not lost. If you look behind, you may have something to salvage. But it came in reverse. So what I feel like is that maybe you're coming out of that mourning, that you're not seeing what you already have, so you're coming out of that kind of energy coming into April. So maybe you're realizing that you should be appreciative of what you already have instead of mourning what you have lost. And maybe because since it's upside down, you're actually seeing things in a different perspective, like what you already have, and being appreciative. However, because the High Priestess actually came in reverse, and High Priestess is about mystery, being good with your intuition and that kind of thing, or like secret. Here also says secrets being revealed. So maybe some of the secrets are being revealed to you. That something that you have been wondering about is also going to come into light in April, right? Something that was kind of mysterious to you right now, or maybe in the past, you're finally going to see it in like this, in a different perspective. Because you're seeing it in a different perspective, you're gonna actually see what it's trying to tell you. However, because it's in reverse and it's also about intuition, I also feel like for some people it may be that you are not following your intuition. Maybe your intuition is telling you to see things or feel things or in a different way, but you're actually not listening to it, and you're not feeling very confident about it, and so you're not listening to your intuition, like what you feel like you should be doing. Although in general, I think it's a very good thing, like the energy of pile 1 is a pretty good thing, that you're seeing things in a different perspective. Things are being revealed, coming into light, although you should probably listen to your intuition as well, because High Priestess is very intuitive kind of person. So I would think that something that, or maybe something that you were interested in about, like the mysterious stuff of the mysterious realm, like astrology, tarot card reading, or that kind of things. Maybe you want to learn more about it, or you're seeing it in a different light, or you're realizing it as like with a different it's just seeing it differently, basically. And over here is the King of Winter, which is the King of Sword and the regular deck. And what it says is get advice from someone professional or an objective, and public speaking or unemotional relationships. Well, for me, King of Sword is somebody who's very wise, who's very thoughtful and think things through, see the clarity of things. But like it says over here, because they're so logical, that they think everything through so clearly that you try to detach your emotion from it, which maybe this is also this too, the High Priestess and the Five of Cups reversed, right? You're trying to detach your emotion from things so that you could see clearly of the things that were confusing or mysterious to you before. But be careful of being too logical sometimes, and you want to still have that emotional, like be expressive of your feelings, and not to like bury it too deep, not revealing what you're really feeling, and just try to be all logical. I think that's also bad as well, because you're swinging from one pendulum to the other instead of being more balanced. But maybe you were, because we were in the Pisces season, that Pisces month, that maybe emotions were running wild, and which is funny because I think Mercury is going to come back in not in retrograde anymore. It's gonna come back in the regular whatever path. So, you know, communication and that kind of things, like really confused, disturbed thoughts will become more clear this week. And so going into April, you might have a clarity of things that you wanted to do, or things, or you could make decisions not based on your emotions as much. And which the Moonology card over here, it says a new start is coming. How fitting. Like you could maybe plan things more, because I do think when you're planning things, you do want to remove your emotion and be more logical and that kind of things. But for, you know, like interpersonal relationship, that kind of thing, sometimes, yes, do want to be a little bit more logical, but then you still want to express enough appreciation or emotions, you know, so that people actually know what you're thinking, and that kind of thing. So in general, I think pile 1 is a great reading, and things are going to come to light and become more clear to you what you want to do. A new start and is coming in April for you, or going into April, you're going to start something new, and you're going to see things in a different perspective, and maybe you can get advice from somebody who can give you more clarity, more professional suggestions that you want, whether it's regarding love or finance or health, or did I say work already? You know, that kind of thing. So I think in general, whatever your question is, everything is going to become more clear to you, and you're going to have a new beginning. So that's great. All right. So that's it for pile number 1. And if you have anything that you want to share with me, you may comment in the comments below. And you may follow me on Instagram, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video. All right. Okay, so pile number 2. What you got is 4 of swords and upright, 10 of pentacles, 9 of winter in reverse, and then the Moonology card, what do you need to release? Okay. So, I think so your energy and your advice going into April is that maybe at the moment you are, you're feeling a little tired, and maybe you need some time to think about things, to go through things, your life and all that stuff. Because 4 of Swords is if you can see, it's a person lying in bed, right? With 3 swords up on the top, and then he's sleeping on 1 sword. And sword is about thinking, thoughts and that kind of thing. So maybe you need to sleep on it. There's some things that you want to do, or you're planning to do, and you're gonna sleep on it and see how you want to plan that things out. And it's also about, if you're reading the bottom of these, it's about sickness and illnesses and taking a rest, right? So it's not necessarily that you're gonna have like something bad to your health, but it could be related to that, that you need to rest, or maybe you're not having maybe you're having too much to think about, so you're not having a lot of nice rested sleep, right? So you should relax, stop thinking about things too much, and just give it a good rest. And also, I think right now is, if you're in school, because if you're working, then you don't get like the March, April break, like the spring break, right? But if you're in school, you do get that little break. So maybe school has too much things going on for you. You need to, take a break and rest a little bit. And if you have kids, right, they're on their spring break, maybe you should take a few days off work and take your kids to somewhere, relaxing, and just take some time off for yourself. If you're not married, you're single and all that stuff, you could still take some break from work and just, relax. And because spring is here, right? And so it's nice to go outside and, chill and not sit at home and watch TV all the time. Relax and take a break, because everything's going to work out. If you're worried about your finances, if you're worried about your relationship, because, this is about worry and you need to rest, right? Stop thinking about things. Because maybe you're worried about your finance, your health, your relationship, your work situation, whatever it is. 10 of Pentacles means that things are going to be okay, right? Things are going to be okay. You're going to get the stability that you want, whether it's in your finance, your health, your love relationship, work situation, school, whatever. So you will get things that you want, and you're trying to strive for. Things will be pretty good for you, right? Family, see how there's like doggies and there's grandpa, and see how like the two of them are smiling, right? The couple, and there's like a little kid on the side with the dogs and everything. So it's a good card. So you should, or maybe you should rest and enjoy your family life. Maybe you were neglecting them, so you should spend some time with your family, right? And here, the 9 of Winter is the 9 of Swords in the regular deck, but it came out in reverse. So I think it's a good thing as well, because 9 of Sword in the traditional deck, Rider-Waite, it's with like 9 swords hanging on the top, right? And this person couldn't sleep, with having nightmare and all that stuff. And if you look at this one, it's also about like this person is wishing upon the moon. It almost reminds me of me, because that's what I do when I see like full moon, like maybe a couple of days ago when there was full moon and I could see it from my window, and that's what I do. I would like make some wishes and manifestation kind of things, like please make my wishes come true, right? But this is in reverse. So you're coming out of the nightmare, right? You are releasing your fear. Perhaps the things that you're wishing about is going to come true, right? Which kind of corresponds with this, and which I think also corresponds with this, right? Because 9 of Winter is sword, and you're sleeping kind of like this, resting, but it's in a nightmarish way. But 4 is more peaceful, like meditating way. So you're going to have that peace that you wanted, and so you'll be able to relax a little bit more, and everything that you wish for or hope for or want to achieve is going to come to you like this, because it's in reverse, right? So if things are not as bad as you think it is, you're coming out of it. And the 10 of Pentacles just confirms that. And if you're single, maybe you've been going to a lot of parties. Maybe you need to, chill out a little bit. Think about what you really want. This is for single people, right? Think about what you really want, what you're really looking for in a partner. And after knowing what you want, then you can get the 10 of Pentacles. You will be able to, when you see the things that you want, you will be able to recognize it and then go for it, right? And then it'll come true like this. This card, the Moonology card, it says, what do you need to release? And I was thinking of doing clarifying it. But then I thought about it, and I think it's actually a good thing to leave it open, because everybody's different, and this is general reading, so I'm not sure what your specific question is. So if you want like a personal specific reading, please contact me, but then we could actually go into the details of things. But for the general reading, I think it's actually good to leave it open, because you probably know what, well, if you're not sure, then contact me, right? But if you should know or figure out, right? This is resting and figure things out, right? So you should figure out what you need to release. And it's kind of interesting that this card is like a winter, right? With like a Christmas tree and all these snow coming down, right? And this card is 9 of winter, but in reverse. So you need to release something, whether it's fear, whether it's doubt, whether it's some kind of a worry about something that you need to release, which corresponds to this, you know, releasing of that fear, that nightmare. Know what you're wishing for so that it could come true for you. And then the resting, right? So to sum it up, for pile number 2, I think you need to, there's some kind of going into April, your energy is going to settle down a little bit. And there are some things that you might need to release. Sleep on it, meditate, really think it through, so that you're more clear on what you want to achieve, what you want to get, right? And once you are clear about it, you will be able to go for it. And 10 of Pentacles ensure that whatever you want, whatever you wish for, will come to you in a good way, right? But first you have to know what it is that you want and release any negativity, any of the things that you fear. If you watched my previous videos, I always say, you know, or any of my Instagram daily draws, that don't make your decision based on fear, right? Because you will regret afterwards. And so release whatever is bothering you. Let go of it. Stop controlling the outcomes, because the outcome is going to be pretty good. It's going to be what you hope for, and maybe even better, right? So, yeah, I think that is your energy and your advice going into April. All right, pile number 2. And so if this resonated with you, that's great. And if you have anything that you want to share with me, comment in the comments down below. And don't forget to like, share, or subscribe to my channel if you like this, like my readings. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, so pile number 3. You got Knight of Wands. You got 6 of Pentacles, but in reverse. And you got King of Summer, but in reverse. And the Moonology card, a win-win outcome is forecast. You know, I think for all of the readings today, the the Moonology card was pretty good. Well, I based most of the reading based on this card just because I feel this is almost like the outcome of things, right? It's the last card I drew. So for your energy, pile number 3, going into your energy and your advice going into April, I think even though there are 2 cards in reverse, but I mean, you don't have to be scared when you see something in reverse. Maybe sometimes it's a good thing. Okay, so first of all, Knight of Wands. It's not a king, it's a knight. So this person is going to be a lot more, I don't want to say impetuous, but a lot more active, a lot more younger, a lot more maybe passionate than the king, because the king is a little bit older, so he learns or she learns to control it a little better. Whereas the knight, they are still young and they have a lot of passion. And it also over here it says important letter, right? So if pile number 3 people, you are waiting for some kind of letter, whether it's if you're in school and you're applying for universities or colleges, which I think the cutoff date, like you should know, right? I think you have to apply if you're going into like a school in September. I think they probably start informing people around now. Is that right? I can't really remember, but if that's not the case, then maybe they start the cutoff date, right, for the application is around now. So if you are the ones that are waiting for a response, something is coming, right? I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing yet. Let's see. We'll see based on the other cards, but just this letter shows that something is coming. And if you are waiting for like your crush or your loved ones or somebody or job offer, so you're going to receive a letter. Okay. And I actually feel like, even though I said we're gonna based on the other cards, I feel like it is going to be a pretty good news. I feel like it's going to be a good news because it's the Knight of Wands, right? Lots of passion, and usually it's bringing you good news, right? And it's something that you're very passionate about, the letter or the text or the document, right? So it's something that you wanted, and I feel like it's a good news for you. The thing about the Six of Pentacles, it came in reverse. So it's about give and take. The Pentacles of the Six of Pentacles, it's about, this card is about give and take, sharing, right? See, this person is giving these 2 beggars money, so it's about giving things to other people and then holding that this balance thing on the other hand. So wants to make sure that he doesn't give this guy more money than the other guy, right? Or this girl, whatever, this person more money than this other person, and want to make sure that, and perhaps this person received something from these 2 before, like Wheel of Fortune. Sometimes you're on the top, sometimes you're on the bottom. So maybe he was in this position before, and now he feels like giving it back because he was like this before, right? So the swaying it, being just, being fair, being balanced. But it came in reverse. So you might have maybe you're taking more than you're giving, or maybe you're giving more than you're taking. That could be one way of one situation, right? For some of you, and maybe for others of you, you're having a little bit of an inner struggle of give and take. That should you take more or should you give more? Like you're trying to figure that kind of things out. And I think it all based on how much you're receiving from this person, right? And also, which is funny because this card came in reverse as well. It's King of Summer. And so based on this person as well. So maybe you have to choose between two people, right? And you don't know which one to choose. And so you are a little conflicted about it. So the situation might be, or choosing between two people, choosing between two jobs, two schools. So maybe the important letters, right? Or important texts, maybe two people or two job offers or two schools, they both want you and you just don't know how or which one to choose, right? So that could be that. And the Wands is more about something that you're very passionate about. And King of Summer. Summer is cups in the traditional Rider ways, right? So, I mean, it came out in reverse, but so you're not as emotional about it because King of Cups is more knows how to control their emotions, right? Somebody, it says honorable, devoted, mature. So perhaps I feel like maybe this is a knight because the king is in reverse. Maybe it's like a knight energy as well, right? So somebody not as mature or knows how to control their emotions yet, but it is indeed a more somebody who can reveal their emotions a little bit more, and this is more passion versus emotions, right? Something that would be emotionally fulfilling versus something that you're very passionate about. So you're choosing between these two, right? So I feel like now you're at a very hard, conflicted decision-making kind of energy, right? And in order to maybe reverse this into upright position, I feel this is a win-win outcome is forecast. So, and which I thought this is great. Full moon in Libra, and guess what? On the 21st of this month of March, right? I don't know when you're gonna watch this video because all my videos are timeless. But if you happen to watch the video in March of 2019, on March 21st, the full moon was in Libra, right? So I don't know, this is just like, wow. So we are in that energy right now, and we got this card. And okay, so why do I feel like this is your answer to choosing between the two, or your energy of like being conflicted between like two choices or something like that, is because look at this. There is that balance right here that, see? And in order to flip this energy around, when you choose between these two, something you're emotionally fulfilled. You will feel emotionally fulfilled versus you will feel very passionate about. I guess if you're passionate, it could be emotionally fulfilling as well, but I don't think necessarily sometimes that is true, right? So it is two very, very hard decisions. In order to flip the energy around so you're not so conflicted, think about how to make it a win-win situation. How do you I guess you really have to weigh both sides, right? This is all about weighing things. So if it's between two people, between two job offers, two finance, whatever things, or schools, you will come to a realization or come to a decision, that will be a win-win situation. Perhaps you feel like, if one side is giving you more, the other one is taking more. And I don't know, like, what do you feel most comfortable with, right? And I feel like that is your energy. I don't know about advice. The advice would be, Libra. Think about balance. Think about what makes you feel good. That's your advice, or my advice to you. Or something is going to be revealed to you in the month of April that it's going to give you a win-win outcome of whatever things that you're choosing. And so that is your energy right now, very conflicted and trying to decide. And with the King of Summer, honorable, devoted. And it says it's a romantic partner you can trust. Perhaps it's telling you that be careful of one of the people that or one of the situation, or one of the job offers, or one of the whatever, that things may not be what it seems like on the surface. You have to dig deeper, right? Into it a little bit. Just because this card came out in reverse, I just feel that you're very conflicted right now because you think both choices are equally good, right? But perhaps one of them isn't as good as you think it is, right? And hence, this is also reversed. That the energy is not balanced, right? This card. So is this one. So find something that is balanced for you, that you feel is right to you. Like when you just sit down and think about it, it just feels right. And I feel like this one, the situations you're trying to decide, it really isn't as good as it seems like. So just be careful, and try to think of a win-win. Try to make the decision so that think win-win when you're trying to make that decision. That's it. Think win-win. So instead of thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna hurt the other person, or I'm gonna be hurt, or you feel bad, guilty, or whatever. Think about a win-win how do you make that situation a win-win situation for both parties, right? So that would be your advice and your energy going into April. So I mean, it's great. We're always facing decisions, and I feel like, and nowadays I think there's a lot of movies or maybe even back in the days too, like 10, 20 years ago, it's always about something like, if I make this decision and I'm going down this path and this is going to happen, right? And then the story comes back to that same situation. But what if I choose this situation and I go down this path, right? And eventually it kind of merge. You come into the same result in some ways, but it's just one takes a little longer and one's a little bit shorter, but you reach the same result. Think of it that way too. Things happen for a reason, and either way, either path that you take, there is something that you need to learn on that path, and that's why you were geared towards that path in the first place. And I feel that is a win-win, right? Either way, you're going to learn something from the situation. So that's it for pile number 3. And if you feel like it resonated with you, that's great. And if you have anything that you want to share with me, comment in the comments below. And I have the Instagram account that you can also subscribe. And don't forget to also share or subscribe this YouTube channel as well. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. So I decided to do an outro anyways, because if you actually watched all 3 piles, or you're in pile number 3 and it just automatically plays into this outro for you. Thank you for, I guess, watching all the way to the end. And I promise the next time I use this thing, it will be, I hope these folds are not bothering you, but yeah, thank you for watching my video, and I hope it resonated with you. And don't forget to share, subscribe to my YouTube channel or my Instagram or my Facebook account. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.